Australia's e-safety commissioner, or censorship commissar, was recently forced into an embarrassing backdown in her battle with Elon Musk. The battle, you might recall, involved a slightly harebrained attempt to force Twitter or X to globally block footage of the stabbing of Bishop Mari Emanuel. The global takedown order was obviously absurd, so much so that the censorship commissar dropped her case before it was to go to the federal court. The absurdness, of course, came about due to the global takedown order. In essence, any country could block footage of anything anywhere else if that were to go ahead. Now, of course, eKaren has turned full crybaby. She has accused the victim of this case, being Elon Musk, of bullying her, in a rather hypocritical turnabout. Now, YouTuber Bering has covered this rather recently. I would encourage you to check out his video, which I've linked below, for a far more entertaining take on this than I could ever hope to offer. Nevertheless, I'll give you my perspective, as monotone as it might be. Now, the latest development arose via a softball interview that eKaren gave with the ABC. The ABC started this by editorializing, stating that Elon Musk had made a personal comment about eKaren by calling her the censorship commissar. She then ran with this, and she accused Elon Musk of dog whistling, calling her the censorship commissar, which apparently then led to harassment and threats made against her. Now, I'll try to play the footage, but ABC is notoriously aggressive with copyright, so I'm not sure that I'll be able to. But nevertheless, it is worth listening to the full exchange.
Elon Musk, you will have noticed, took to his platform at one stage in the last month or so. He described you in somewhat personal terms, I suppose, Australia's censorship commissar. How did that weigh with you?
Well, he issued a dog whistle to 181 million users around the globe, which resulted in death threats directed at me, which resulted in doxing of my family members, including my 3 children. So I think with great power comes great responsibility.
Now, of course, you can easily tell that Julie Inman Grant has turned into a crybaby. She played a losing legal card. She started a losing legal case. She attempted to bully Elon Musk and Twitter into compliance. She was the bully to begin with, by leveling a legal case that could never go anywhere. There were no legal grounds for this. She was the bully. The e-safety commissioner and the department were the bullies here. They were the aggressors. But then she turns about and claims that the victim is bullying her. So when it becomes obvious that this bully tactic is legal nonsense, the cry-bully, being eKaren, starts victim blaming. She accuses the victim themselves of bullying, simply because they had the temerity to defend themselves. It's a hackneyed, overplayed tactic that has been used by progressive zealots over the past few years. People can see through it, and they can see how hollow and cynical it is. However, by virtue of its cynicism, it sometimes gets some play on outlets such as the ABC. So to be very clear here, eKaren was not the victim in this case. Elon Musk and Twitter were the victim. She attempted to bully them and is now crying that they tried to defend themselves. Now, of course, if Julie Inman Grant did receive threats and harassment, that shouldn't happen. Now, perhaps she did receive those, in which case, it is not appropriate. People should not go around threatening other people. Indeed, that is generally illegal, and people should not do so. However, this is not Elon Musk's fault. Elon Musk defended himself. And if she's going to go and bully someone and then that victim responds, she can't go and cry if it backfires on her. Perhaps the other people went too far in siding with him. But that's not Elon Musk's fault. She should not have started this clearly groundless legal battle and then complain when Elon Musk defends himself. He should not have to acquiesce to bully tactics simply because some other third party might become incensed and take matters too far. By that cynical logic, any victim of anything cannot defend themselves. Any victim of government bullying must simply sit down and take it, lest someone go ultra vires and take matters too far in the defense of the victim. Or by this logic, any victim of a house break-in can't defend themselves because maybe the burglar might suffer some third-party repercussions. Clearly, it is victim blaming, and clearly it is absurd. But some people seem to want to go along with that narrative, possibly because it suits their own political cause. Now, frankly, this should come as no surprise, because it appears that Julie Inman Grant was in charge of some of the censorship at Twitter before Elon Musk took over. And all Twitter had form in doing this. or Twitter was rife with crybullies who seemed to want to go and bully other people, but then act all aggrieved when that person tries to defend themselves. Like I've said, it's a tried and true hackneyed tactic. It's cynical and it's hollow, and people can see through it. And that cynicism is why it annoys people so much. The hypocrisy is why it is so troubling. That hypocrisy should not be coming from a government agency. Not only that, eKaren seems to have positioned herself as being part of some information war to try to take down organizations like Twitter. She appears to have gone rather beyond her mandate. Now, the eSafety Commission started with a noble purpose: stopping exploitation material and other illegal activities. However, now it has morphed into a monster that has gone on a censorship rampage. It appears to be positioning itself in opposition to the media companies. It seems to be positioning itself in opposition to free speech. It appears to want ever more censorship. It appears to want to take taxpayers millions of dollars and then turning that money against those taxpayers. It appears to want to take the money in from taxpayers and then censor the taxpayers if they were to ever complain about this. It's clearly cynical. Now, the only real solution to this, of course, is to dramatically downsize or eliminate the department entirely. The department has clearly gone above its mandate. The department has clearly overextended itself. The department, due to things like this global takedown order, appears to not actually have that much respect for the law, which is a little bit ironic, since they're trying to claim that they're aggrieved by all of the backlash they've received. Perhaps if they didn't go too far, perhaps if they didn't try to issue clearly non-legal takedown orders, people wouldn't be so annoyed with their department. Maybe their activities are why people are so irritated. And maybe if they actually stayed within their remit, they wouldn't have such a backlash and people wouldn't detest the department so much. Now, the clear problem, of course, is the eSafety Commissioner appears to actually have bipartisan support, which is a little bit troubling. It appears that Labour has gone all in on the eSafety Commissioner and on trying to police so-called misinformation, i.e. speech that is critical of the government. The opposition party appears to not know what to say here. They appear to be trying to search for a message that they think is going to have cut through, because it appears they don't actually seem to know what they stand for on this. On the one hand, it appears they want something like the eSafety Commissioner because they feel like policing hate speech and the like is going to be useful. And of course, to be clear, there's some types of speech that are not appropriate. However, the issue is the limiting principle. Where do you stop? And the opposition party, being Peter Dutton and the Liberals, don't seem to know exactly what they're going to stand for here. If the opposition party wants to actually have some message cut through, maybe they should stand for free speech rather than censorship. But they don't appear to actually have the guts to be able to do that. Maybe if they did, they might have more success in the upcoming election. I'd be interested, however, to hear your thoughts about the eSafety Commissioner or the Censorship Commissar or eKaren or whatever you want to call the department in the comments below, and about what should be done about this department.